A novel sells its way to the top of book talk. Then a study says a machine wrote most of it. The author says that is wholly untrue. Her publisher says the tool that flagged her is known to get this wrong, and you're left holding a book wondering. So here's the question that outlives this particular fight. Can you actually tell when a book was written by AI? Sort of. Let us do it properly. How to tell if a book was written by AI, what the detectors really do, what the prose really shows, and where both of them fall apart. Start with the case that put this on your feed because it teaches the whole problem. Researchers at Stony Brook University ran 14,000 randomly chosen Kindle ebooks through an AI detection tool called Pangram. The tool scored one popular novel, Daggermouth, by H.M. Wolfe, at 60% AI written. Now stop, because this is where most coverage ends and it should not. That paper has not been peer-reviewed. Wolfe denies it flatly. Her words, "The suggestion that I used generative AI to write Daggermouth is wholly untrue. I wrote this book myself." And her publisher, Simon & Schuster, said the book went through the same editorial and production process as their other titles, and that conclusions about an author's work should not be drawn from detection tools that have been shown to produce false positives. Nobody has proven anything. That is not a dodge. That is the actual state of the evidence, and it is the reason the rest of this matters. So what is a detector doing when it hands you a number? Not what most people assume. It is not finding a watermark, and it is not reading a confession. It is a statistical classifier. It was trained on piles of text known to be human and piles known to be machine, and it learned which surface patterns tend to go with which. Then, it looks at your text and reports how much it resembles the machine pile. That output is a probability, not a fact. 60% does not mean 60% of the sentences came out of a model. It means the classifier's confidence landed on 60, and a classifier is only as good as the assumption underneath it. That machine writing and human writing look reliably different. That assumption gets weaker every year in both directions. Which brings us to the failure that should worry you most. Detectors do not just miss AI. They accuse humans. Think about what these tools reward. Text that is clean, even conventional and tidy, reads as machine-like, because that is what a model produces. But it is also what a good copy editor produces. It is what a careful writer in a plain style produces. It is what a writer working in their second language often produces, because they lean on safe, common constructions. Polished human prose and generated prose can look the same from the outside. And look at the scale of the claim in that same study. By the tool's own count, 1 in 5 of those 14,000 books held more than a quarter AI text. Take that at face value, and a fifth of the Kindle store is substantially machine-written. Maybe. Or maybe the tool overflags. You cannot tell which from the number alone, and that is exactly the problem. So automated detection will not settle it for you. Which leaves the thing you actually have. You have read thousands of pages. You have instincts. Let us find out which of those instincts are worth trusting. Tell number 1, and it is the strongest. Specificity. Generated prose drifts to the generic. A small coastal town, a bustling marketplace. Her eyes sparkled with determination. It is fluent, it is grammatical, and it could be describing anywhere, anyone. Human writing that is working tends to be stubbornly particular. The writer names the diner. They tell you the coffee tastes burnt because nobody has changed the filter since Tuesday. They notice the one wrong detail no template would ever generate because they were actually paying attention to something, real or imagined. So while you read, ask this. Could this paragraph be lifted into a different novel without changing a word? If yes, that is worth noticing. If the detail could only live here, that is a person at work. Tell number 2, temperature. Generated text tends to sit at one emotional level and stay there. Every scene is competent. Every chapter keeps the same distance from the reader. Real books lurch. A writer gets bored and rushes a transition. She gets obsessed with a minor character and gives her 40 pages she has not earned. The book goes strange in the middle and pulls itself back at the end. Those are the fingerprints of a person making decisions over months. Tell number 3, and it is related. Shape. Generated chapters are often suspiciously tidy. Set up, develop, resolve, repeat. Every section about the same length. Human structure is lumpier because revision and real life made it that way. Now the part almost nobody includes, which is where all of this breaks. These are instincts, not evidence. Generic prose is not proof of a machine. Plenty of humans write generically, and whole genres run on convention on purpose. Translated fiction can read flat because translation flattens. A minimalist stylist can look mechanical on the page. A heavily edited debut can lose exactly the lumpiness we just called human. And it runs the other way too. Someone who prompts well, rewrites hard, and adds real detail can produce something none of these tells will catch. So you can say, this feels generic to me. You cannot say, this author used AI. Those are different sentences, and only one of them is yours to make. And there is one more thing muddying all of it, and it is far older than any of this technology. Not everything that is less than fully the author's own words is AI. There are at least 4 different situations here, and they keep getting collapsed into one. 1. Ghostwriting. A human other than the credited author wrote the book. That has been standard practice for a century. It is legal, it is contractual, and it has nothing to do with AI. 2. AI assisted. The author wrote the book but used tools somewhere. Brainstorming, a line edit, a grammar checker that quietly rewrote a sentence. Where the line sits here is genuinely unsettled, and publishing contracts are only now catching up. 3. AI written. A model generated the substance, and a person tidied it. 4. Unfairly accused. Nothing happened, and a tool or a rumor said otherwise. Those 4 deserve 4 different reactions. Collapsing them into one is how a working writer's career gets damaged over a number from an unpublished study. So, what is actually being done about it? Publishers have largely landed in the same place. Contractual disclosure. Author contracts increasingly carry clauses about whether generative AI was used and how. That shifts the question from detection to declaration. From can we catch you to did you tell us? Some houses pair that with editorial process as the defense, which is what Simon & Schuster pointed at in this case. A book that went through their normal editing has a trail of human decisions behind it. And notably, that publisher publicly refused to treat a detector score as a verdict. That is the direction this is heading. Not better detectors, better disclosure, and a higher bar for accusation. So, how do you tell? Honestly, you often cannot, and you should be suspicious of anyone who says they always can, tool or human. What you can do is read better. Notice when detail goes generic. Notice when a book never changes temperature. Notice when the shape is too neat. Use that to decide what to spend your evening on, which is the only call that is actually yours. And when you see a number attached to a person's name, ask who ran the tool, whether it has been reviewed, and what the accused actually said. In this case, she said she wrote it herself, and her publisher stood behind her. That is where it stands. More reading wisdom every week at hookedtobooks.tv.